Chances are that AutoGPT sounds interesting, and knowing about it is of course great, but now I of course also want to show you how you can use this tool. And to use it, you can perform a good old web search for AutoGPT, and then here, at least in my case, it's not the first result I want to access. Instead, it's this second result on GitHub. GitHub is a platform that can be used by developers to share code, but no worries, you won't need to write code to use AutoGPT. Instead, it is just a tool where you could take a look at its code if you wanted to. Now, on this GitHub repository, as it's called, you should also find a link to its website, agpt.co. And you can visit this as well for further instructions, but you will also find details about the installation and usage of this tool on GitHub here. Now, I will say right away that AutoGPT is a tool that's changing all the time. When you're watching this video, certain parts of AutoGPT already might look different or work slightly different, and it also definitely has a lot of limitations and bugs and errors. Therefore, it's great to play around with it, and it's a great idea to try using AutoGPT for certain workflows, but you should be prepared for AutoGPT to fail on certain tasks or to produce errors. That's just really important to keep in mind, and that's also why you should definitely take a look at this GitHub repository page and read through the information here, and also take a look at this AutoGPT website to which you find a link on this GitHub page, this agpt.co website. On this website, you'll find more information about the tool, and if you visit docs.agpt.co, you're also taken to the official documentation. You'll also find a link to this documentation here on GitHub. Now, here in this official documentation, you also learn how you can set up AutoGPT on your system. And there are different ways of setting it up, though this Docker approach, for example, is only recommended if you have experience with Docker, and if this tool doesn't tell you anything, it's definitely not for you. But you can also always install Python on your system and also follow these instructions for Windows here to set up AutoGPT on your system. It's also worth noting that under the hood, AutoGPT, of course, is using those GPT models, as I mentioned, and therefore you need an API key from OpenAI so that you can use these models in your own programs. Now, of course, AutoGPT isn't a program you created, but it is a program you installed on your system, and in the end, as I just mentioned, with AutoGPT, you in the end just download all that code and run that on your system, so it's like a program you wrote, just that you didn't write it. But you're still getting some raw code which you're executing, and under the hood, this code will be using these GPT models, and of course, the developers of AutoGPT, since they are providing this tool for free, don't want to pay for your usage of those GPT models, and that's why you need to get your own API key, as also instructed in this OpenAI API course section we already had here, so that you use your own account and you pay for your own usage of those GPT models. Now, this will require you to sign up with OpenAI and to log in with OpenAI. And you should then also definitely take a look at their pricing page to learn what the usage of those GPT models will cost you. So these are some things to keep in mind, and you definitely do need such an API key. But once you got that, and you got Python installed on your system, you're ready to download AutoGPT and then start using it. And that's what we're going to do in the next lecture.